Is opening day as a ball player very exciting for you and for the players?
Well, from a player standpoint, I think it's probably the one day that you really are nervous to a certain degree. It takes an inning or so to kind of get the jitters out because you're all of a sudden playing in front of 50,000 people. The most you've played in front of during spring training is probably 10. Mm-hmm. So the noise and the enthusiasm and the energy from opening day and the festivities and everything is really just one of the marquee days of the year. And it's a one regular season game that probably has a postseason pitch to it in terms of the energy and everything that's going on. So when does that wear off in the 163 games? After the second game? Or? Well, actually, you probably, as you get into the middle of the game, you start to kind of get your legs a little bit. And after,
catch your breath.
You catch your breath, you get your legs, and they call it your emotional legs, and you're good after that. And there'll be a few more games during the course of the year that you'll play in front of 50,000, but for the most part, nothing like opening day.
Hopefully by the time you calm down, you got like a 4-run lead and you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, you hope that it's that way. And you want to get your first hit of the year. You want to get the first win. You don't want to embarrass yourself.
No.
You guys ever embarrass yourself?
All the time. Every day.
Okay.
Have you seen Yu Darvish pitch?
Yeah.
As a catcher, what are your impressions?
He has some overpowering stuff. I've seen both sides. I've seen where he struggled a little bit with locating his fastball, and I've seen him be very overpowering. And I think his last game in Arizona, he struck out 11 in 5 innings.
Oh, yeah.
So he's got great stuff. I think he's going to do well. And there's a little bit of adjustment, and there'll be a period of kind of gauging how he does. And you do that, well, how's he going to come out of the chute? How are other teams and players going to respond to his pitches early on, and how will that happen? And then the next phase is how well will he do when they have seen him once, and now they start to see him a second and third time. And then the last part will be the heat and toward the end of the season. The Japanese schedule is longer, more off days. They have a 6-man rotation versus a 5-man rotation like we have. So there are phases there in kind of gauging his appearance and how well he does. And I think in spring training he did well. It was good to see him work, and he's been getting better each time out.
Okay, as a catcher, did you ever talk trash to opposing batters that came up to try to psych them out?
Yeah.
I would be disappointed if you didn't.
Yeah, you try to. There's a couple of things. It depends. One time I was talking with George Brett, and I ended up being a teammate of his later on with Kansas City, but George and I both could carry on conversations while the ball's coming in. Actually had an umpire tell us to shut up one time. He was trying to call the game. So, but there's been with guys that I knew really well. I'd take a little handful of dirt, and when the ball's coming in, throw it on their feet as the ball's coming in.
That's great.
Guys I didn't like, whenever they were taking their back swing to get ready, I would stick my glove out, and their bat would hit my glove on the way back, so it'd mess them up.
Yeah.
And they'd try to step out real quick and gather themselves up.
I saw your mama on the main stage last night.
But my favorite thing is I could never figure out why someone who stands 60 feet away on a hill from me thinks he's smarter and shakes me off.
And shakes you off when you're trying to tell.
I could never understand that. I don't like that. That really,
I don't blame you.
At one time, I want to get on the mound and shake a catcher off, just to have that error.
Did you ever face Nolan as a batter?
Yes, I did. And he struck me out a few times. I'm on the list. And
you were one of those 5,000, weren't you?
Well, a guy tried to. One of my teammates, I said, "Can you give me a hint about how to face Ryan?" And so he said, "Well, he grunts on his fastball. The only problem is that by the time I heard him grunt, the catcher had the ball. Yeah, it was kind of like pop in the glove. And so it wasn't. It didn't really help me that much.
Oh, that's terrific. What's the hardest defensive play for a catcher?
Catching a knuckleball pitcher.
Yes, because the ball just goes.
Yeah, you don't know which way it's going to go. I caught Charlie Huff. It was the most difficult thing I had to do from the standpoint of a big picture. What is the hardest thing to do is catch a knuckleballer over the course of a game. That's the hardest thing to do.
Some catchers I hear use special gloves for that.
I had a huge glove, and you don't catch it. You kind of wrestle it to the ground and then pick it up. Wrestle it to the ground, pick it up, throw it back. Sometimes it just hits you. hit your mask, it hits your body. You don't even get a glove on it.
Yeah.
And you pick it up and throw it back. Outside of that, the toughest single moment play is when a huge guy is running around third and he's coming into home and the ball's coming in and you have to make the choice. Do I take a beating or do I play like in the Mexican bull fights? Just step to the side and let him go, you know? So after you've been hit a couple times and hurt, that's not a lot of fun to see a guy, big guy coming down.
But you have the ball, you know you're going to tag him out. You just go, ooh, this is going to hurt.
The lower you get and the smaller you get and face the runner is what you end up doing, and then you can just kind of roll out of the way.
Jim, thank you very much.
All right, you guys.
Well, it's going to be a great season.
Yeah,
it's going to be a great
season for the Rangers this year.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun year for everybody.